Hi everyone, today's video is my take on the abstract / swirl nail trend going on right now. So if you guys want to see how I did them, then keep on watching this video. To start off, I'm using the Nail Couture soft gel press-ons in Eternal Beige. What's nice about these is that they already come pre-colored. I'm selecting the appropriate sizes. Next, I'm using my McCart e-file and I'm inserting this cone-shaped drill bit. Make sure to lock the bit in place. I'm using my nail dust collector, which is also from McCart, and I'm going to file the inside of the nail tips so that the gel extensions last for a long time and they adhere properly to the gel. Don't forget to also file the edges of the nail tips to prevent lifting. Since I already had my dust collector out to kill two birds with one stone, I went ahead and buffed the surface of the tips just so once again this ensures the gel adheres properly. After that, I'm going in with the Nail Couture base coat, and these nails have already been prepped off camera. I apply base coat out of habit, but I've seen a lot of people not use base coat and instead just go in with the press-on gel. As you can see here, I'm applying a thin layer to the actual nail, and I'm also going to apply the press-on gel to the tip. The amount of gel you need depends on the size and how curved the client's nails are, so you will have to adjust the amount you apply accordingly. It's not going to be the same across the board. Next, I'm applying the tip, starting at the cuticle and letting the gel flow and fill out the entire nail without any air bubbles because that will cause lift. Then go ahead and flash cure the nail in place and then do a full cure once all of the other nails are on. Going in with some tip cutters to shorten the length. I finally got a nail tip cutter after all these years, and I must say it is such a nice investment. I'm cutting a bit of the sides using these. Well, these are actually toenail cutters, but these are curved, so it makes things a little easier for me. Then I'm taking a 100 grit file and rounding off the corners and creating an oval shape. When it comes to gel extensions, you can pre-shape the nails before applying it to the client, but I find, if your client has like slanted nails, for example, it might be more accurate to shape the nail when it is actually on the client. After that, I'm applying a clear rubber base coat from the gel bottle. The purpose of the step is to add just that extra security and strength to the gel extension. It's not a required step, but I just do it anyways, once again for that extra security. For the rainbow colors, I'm using this Born Pretty rainbow kit. They actually sent me this in PR and I'm super grateful because this is actually my very first PR package after doing years of YouTube. I've been using their products for a long time on my channel, but I've never tried any of their gel polishes, but I'm super impressed by the quality and pigmentation of these. As you can see, I'm swatching them in the video. They are all nicely pigmented and the whole kit retails for about $18 to $19 on Amazon. And as some of you guys may know, gel polish can get pretty expensive. Some brands will sell just one color for the same price that Born Pretty is selling 6 different colors. And they were kind enough to give me a code for 20% off. If you use code SOSIMPLY at checkout, you'll get 20% off. However, the code does expire on June 30th. By the way, I believe this rainbow kit is more of like an Easter themed kit. They actually did send me this kit way back in April, but I'm just now getting around to filming with it because I've been busy with school. So some of the colors are a bit more on the kind of soft pastelish side, which I don't mind because I love those kind of colors. Overall, I really love this kit, and you guys will see that these gels are pigmented enough to do nail art with. To make things easier, I am applying all the colors onto a palette so I don't have to open and close the bottles each time I want to use a different color. I'm using the Nails number 2 brush, and as you can see, it's very thin, which is perfect. To be honest, it's pretty hard to describe exactly how I did each of these nails. All I can say is that I did create a Pinterest board of different designs to take inspiration from, and I just referenced that as I was painting the designs. For me personally, with all my favorite takes on this whole nail trend, I noticed I really like the ones that had a notable contrast in the varying thickness throughout the design. So as you can see, for me, I made the ends more tapered, whereas the midpoint of the design is the thickest. And what's really nice about gel is that if I mess up, I can just take a cleanup brush dipped into acetone and pretend like it never happened. So once I'm satisfied with the design, I'm going to move away my palette and flash cure the design into place just so that it doesn't accidentally smudge or mess up. To go along with the whole rainbow theme I want, I'm going to take the orange and outline the red swirl. I don't know what shape you would call this. Wave? I don't know. Anyways, as you can see, I'm just outlining the bottom of the red design I did previously and flash curing that once I'm happy with it. I guess the whole point of abstract art is that the art isn't necessarily a concrete shape, so it is kind of hard to give a tutorial on this, but anyways, I'm adding some orange and red just to the bottom of the nail, like the free edge, just because I felt like the nail was a little empty. Honestly, just paint whatever comes to mind, see where your brush takes you, and again, as I said earlier, it really helps to have reference pictures. For the middle finger, I created this kind of U horseshoe looking shape. Kind of reminds me of the Lululemon logo a bit, but turned upside down. Just like with the index finger, I'm varying the thickness. For thinner lines, you want to use less pressure, and for thicker lines, you want to add more pressure. I just find it's more aesthetically pleasing that way if the design isn't the same thickness all throughout. And then I'm going to go ahead and flash cure that in place. And by the way, the little lamp I'm using is from a cart. I'll link everything down below in the description bar. To create continuity from the index to the middle finger, I outlined the top of the shape with orange, and then to introduce the blue, I outlined around the bottom half of the shape with the blue. And by the way, the blue is probably my favorite color out of the whole set. And just like the last time, I felt like the bottom was a little empty, so I just added this blue swoosh. It kind of reminds me of the Nike logo, the just do it checkmark thing. But yeah, I just added the blue because I'm going to use blue as the main color for the next finger, so I just wanted some kind of like cohesiveness. Now moving on to the ring finger, I created this S resembling shape. It also kind of looks like a road. To be honest, I don't really like this one now that I'm looking at it in the editing process. I guess I was just tired because I feel like I really like the index and the middle finger, but then when it came to the ring and the pinky finger, I don't know what happened, but I just don't like the design as much. But enough complaining on my side, I just made the bottom of the shape thicker and I'm narrowing the thickness towards the top. Then I'm going to outline the abstract shape with the lavender color. The blue and the lavender are my favorites out of the set. To switch things up a bit, I'm taking the purple and outlining the cuticle area this time, and the previous two nails I outlined the free edge. So just to switch things up and add some variety. For the pinky finger, I took the fuchsia and created a reverse S shape this time. I create the skeleton of the S shape, if you will, and now I'm refining the details and thickness of the shape. I went back to the middle finger and outlined the other side of the shape. I don't know why I only outlined one side, but yeah, I just went back and fixed that. I wasn't really sure how to incorporate the purple into the pinky finger. I tried a bunch of different designs, but I didn't really like any of them. I don't know, I just felt like they clashed too much with the pinky, and there wasn't really that much space on the pinky nail to begin with because it's like the smallest finger. So I just outlined the S looking shape with the purple. I know it's kind of like the same thing I did on the middle finger, but again, I don't know, like nothing I was doing with the purple looked right to me except just outlining the pink. Lastly, I flash cured things in place and did a full cure once the whole design was complete. After that, I'm taking some clear builder in a bottle. There are two reasons why I'm doing this. One, the gel polish from all the designs we did does create some uneven texture on the surface of the nail, so applying a builder gel will help smooth that out. And two, is just once again to add a bit more strength and structure to the nail. The e-nail couture full cover tips do come already structured, but I'm just being a little bit of a perfectionist here. Now, to be honest, I don't really like the consistency of the gel bottles, clear builder in a bottle, just because it's on the thinner side, so it's a bit harder to build structure. After the builder gel has fully cured, I'm wiping off the sticky layer with a cotton pad and some rubbing alcohol. Again, this step is purely optional, but I just like experimenting and trying stuff I've seen other nail techs do. So I'm just going to shape the gel. Gel is softer than acrylic, so you want to go with a lower speed and not as much pressure than if you were to file acrylic. And I think gel is soft enough to the point where I do prefer hand filing, but I just wanted to use my new nail file and test it out. After I finished filing, I'm removing the dust off of the nails, also the underside because dust can get there as well, and I'm taking a buffing block and just buffing away any scratch that may have been formed during the filing process. And now that we're finally done, I'm going to seal everything off with a top coat. This is the e-nail couture shiny gel top coat. And if you want to skip the whole builder gel and filing process I did earlier, you could just go in with top coat, maybe like 2 layers just to really even out the surface. I think that method would also work pretty well. And this is the finished design. Once again, thank you so much to Born Pretty for sending me these wonderful gels to work with, and I do have a discount code with them. It does expire on June 30th, but thank you guys so much for watching.